Hello guys and happy Sunday. Today we are going to make some dinner. It's Ramadan right now, so I just figured, hey, it's Sunday, I might as well start early and have you guys with me. Um, like I said, traditionally during Ramadan in Algeria, we do have like soup and, some kind of a side with it, and it would be usually like green beans and chicken or something, along those lines. But today I am making couscous. This is traditional Algerian couscous. You can make it with chicken, beef, or lamb. It's up to you. The one I'm making today is going to be chicken. And this is primarily the kind of sauce that you would make for like a wedding type dinner. It's a white sauce. And you can also make it red and you can make it spicy if you want to, but this is how we're doing it today. This is what was requested by my family. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. The first thing that you're gonna wanna do is soak your couscous, okay? And I know y'all might buy in our regular stores here in America, you'll buy these in boxes, right? And it'll tell you to boil it. You're gonna wanna steam it for best results. That's what you wanna do. This is a coarse couscous, and I'll show you what to do with it. This is Algerian. So this one's from Algeria, okay? But I like the super thick couscous. That is my favorite. If you do have a steamer, that would be perfect. Hi, Selma. Hello. Hello, hello. I hope Ramadan's going great for you. So this is what I'm going to be using. You just put one of these on another pot with water. You can also, hi, Rally. Hello. Welcome in. And you can use just one of those Japanese steamers, the wooden ones, okay? So this is what we're gonna do. Let me just move y'all so you can see what I'm doing. And we're gonna get into cutting up the vegetables. I figured let me just cut the vegetables with y'all so we can hang out just a little bit longer than usual, okay? All right, so you just open up. If you do buy this at your local grocery store, you can do the same exact thing. Just steam it. I can link some steamers over from Amazon. I'll put those on my in my community post, okay? So you're gonna take your couscous and pour it, depending on how much you want to make, okay? I'm going to make a decent amount, and Rally is vegetarian. Salam alaikum. Walaikum salam. It's good to see you. I hope Ramadan's going well for you. Okay, so this is our couscous, you guys, okay? This is what we're making. If you are vegetarian, you can make this. So go ahead and steam your couscous, and you can serve it with chukchuka, which we have made in the past. That is a very popular way to do it, and use olive oil instead of butter for this. It's delicious, okay? So the first thing you're gonna do is get your couscous, and you're going to want to cover it with water. Just pour your water right over it, okay? You're gonna want it to be very soaked. Okay, this is what it's going to look like. Okay, so it is soaked. Sorry, the water is like going right through it. And we're just gonna let this sit while we work on our vegetables, okay? And you're gonna want it to sit until it's completely soaked before you do your first steam, okay? So for this recipe, it will not be couscous without daikon radish, okay? You need daikon radish, okay? So we are going to, and this is the good thing about this, you don't have to worry too much about cutting up your vegetables super perfectly. What we're going to first do is peel these veggies. So you need daikon radish, carrots, and zucchini. And onion. Sorry, I almost forgot the onion. So daikon radish does take a little bit to cook. So this is going to, I'll show you, I'm sorry. It does take a little bit to cook, so you do need to cook this with, I forgot the potatoes, I'm sorry. All right, you need 2 potatoes. You're gonna want to cook your daikon radish with your potatoes, but the potatoes go in on the second half. What you're gonna wanna do is just kind of give this a rough chop. We're going to saute a little bit just half of the two, you're going to saute them with your onion because you want it to give a lot of flavor to your sauce. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Selma. All right, so I have my daikon radish. I do have a bowl of water sitting right here for the other vegetables, but the ones that are going in first, we're going to cut right here. Hello, Tammy. Hi. Are you... So I'm assuming you're Muslim. If not, that's fine, obviously. But I just thought you were because you said Assalamu alaikum. But I appreciate you regardless. Thank you for being here. And yes, Ashley is a beautiful person. Love her. A lot of the people that we have are also in Ashley's channel. Okay, so for the second portion, so this is the one that's going to go in with our onions to make it super fragrant. Oh, Campbellina. Is it? Hey, we all use those head wraps, okay? It's the way to do it. Okay, put these in here. Next, we're going to do the carrots. Again, these ones, you don't have to chop very finely because you serve them. You are going to serve them in bigger chunks, okay? Cut one side, cut it in half, okay? It's part of the presentation when you serve it. And the carrots will give off their sweetness and their flavor towards the end. So how is everybody doing? Is everybody having a good Sunday? Oh, okay, okay. I didn't know that, Kimberly. I'm Algerian. So you're going to want your carrots, your zucchinis to go in last, okay? Because you don't want them to get mushed. You still want them to hold shape and look beautiful when you serve them. And like I said, this is the traditional couscous. Couscous is Algerian, okay? Don't let anybody else let you think otherwise. Look it up. We started this, okay? I'm very proud, very proud. So this is how traditional couscous is made. Like I said, you can make a red sauce with this as well. If you do a red sauce, you are going to, instead of putting in cinnamon, you're going to add in bay leaf and a little bit of garlic and some cayenne. Okay, when you cut your your zucchini, give it this little gorgeous shape, this little decoration. It's part of it, okay? We always do that. But please get you some daikon. H Mart sells daikon radish. Sometimes you'll find it at Whole Foods too. And you know what? Not only does it make it look pretty when you cut it like this, but when you leave a little bit of this green, thicker peel on it, it does help hold the shape because zucchinis do tend to kind of overcook very quickly. You don't want to do that to yourselves, okay? And as y'all know, I usually do cut up the vegetables and everything like that before I come on, but I did want us to just hang out just a little bit longer. Just give us a little space to chill, you know? So this, and this is also, this sauce works very well with lamb. But today we are making it with chicken because we did have red meat for the last couple of days. So we're just switching things up a little bit, but chicken tastes real good in this, okay? And we do usually use drumsticks or thighs for this. You can also use a whole chicken if you want to get real fancy with it. If you do use a whole chicken, you're going to want to cook it in the sauce a little bit and then stick it in the oven and let it roast. Yes, it's the best way to do it. Did I already have this turned on? Oh, I sure did. Let me just rinse this off. I had it on something. So I already have my water boiling. Let me me just, give me 1 second, y'all. Steaming it is the way to go. I had something sitting on my water while it was boiling. And I did not need to do that. I did link one of the steamers a while back on my community side, but I'll link it again just in case you guys want to get it. You know what? It's real good. No, Selma, my kids, one is 4 and the other one is 7. But he really wants to. He's been asking to, but he was also sick, so I didn't want to like. I was like, just wait, you know, just wait a little bit. So they're pretty young. Okay, so let me get, oh, I almost forgot this one. So we're going to start, so these are our veggies right here that we are going to be adding to our sauce. Let me just put this trash here. So how is everybody? What are you guys doing? What are you eating today? How about that? Yeah, that's around when we start usually. But he still wanted to try. I just told him to hold on a minute, you know what I mean? Forgot potatoes. Oh, thank you, Raleigh. I love having y'all here. I love hanging out with you guys. You guys, I also want to show you how to blanch almonds for certain desserts. Because buying like roasted blanched almonds is actually very expensive. So I want to show you an easy way to peel them and blanch them. Oh, for sure, Selma. I remember when I was younger, I used to have like nightmares that I'd forget that I was fasting. Like usually like the day before Ramadan, I'd forget that I was fasting. So I would end up like in the dream going to the water fountain at school and then being like, oh no. But, all right, and then our onion. So this onion, this is what we're going to saute first with the chicken and our daikon radish. Just turn y'all just a little bit. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to be cooking in this big pot right here. And you can cook this sauce in any kind of pot that you want, right? Just, hello, hi, how are you? Mr. Chronicles and Chris. Okay, so this is what our couscous looks like right now. As you guys know, we just finished soaking it. This was full, so you can see how it looks right now, right? So once you get to this point right here where it's nice and dry, you are going to go through, regardless of the kind of couscous that you have, do the same thing with all of them, okay? I'm just gonna put it right here so y'all can see, okay? So you're going to go through and just do this, just so you separate any kind of clumps that you might have, okay? And if you go through it and it still feels like it's a little bit wet, just understand that it means that it still needs to sit just a little bit longer until it holds together, until it pulls in all of that water that you poured on it, okay? Okay, so this looks good and nice and separated, okay? The next thing that we're gonna do is add it right here into this and put it over the double boiler, okay? So I'm just gonna move this here. So y'all can see what I'm doing. Okay, you're just going to pick it up like this and put it right into the steamer, regardless of the kind of steamer that you have, y'all. Just make sure sometimes when you go to buy a steamer, the holes are a little bit too big for couscous, right? So just make sure that you have the right one. And like I told you, you're not going to regret buying a steamer. Even if you don't eat a lot of couscous, you're not going to regret getting a steamer because you can use it for everything. You can use it for tamales. You can use it for your veggies, dumplings, whatever you want. It's nice to have a steamer. Okay, so once you have it on here, make sure it's all nice and even. Use your hand to just even it out. And then you're just going to let it steam, right? Make sure you have enough water down there. And that's just going to sit there while we work on our sauce. Okay? Save your bowl because you're going to flip your couscous into this just to wet it again and give it that second steam before serving. All right. So we're going to get started here on our sauce. And then we're probably going to have some time to make some dessert too. Sorry. Okay. So for this, you're going to add about a tablespoon of oil to your pan. Just a little bit more. Turn this on. Going to add a little bit more water to the steamer pot because it was on there for a minute, so it dried up a little bit. Okay, so to this, now we're going to add the daikon radish. Let me rinse these off really quick. All right, so we've got our daikon radish. We have our onion. I'm going to give these a little bit of a rough chop. So this one, like I said, if you want to make authentic couscous, this is the way to do it. This is actual, like, old school, real, the works, okay? Hi, Umflo, hello. It's good to see you. So now while we're sauteing the daikon radish and the onion, you're going to add in your chicken. I'm just going to be using some drumsticks. Okay, just place these right in. Hello, Addicted. Hi. Welcome in. Welcome in. So we are going to add our chicken right here to the daikon radish and the onions. Again, if you want to use lamb or beef for this, go ahead and do that. All right. Hello, Divine. Hi, welcome in. All right. So we've got this right here going. You guys, the spices are super simple, but the daikon radish changes everything. Okay, the daikon radish is the main flavor component to all of this. Okay, so pepper, a little more, cinnamon, because you already know, you guys, the cinnamon I have, just like I have salt. Okay. You need the cinnamon, especially for the wedding ones. All right, and then salt. And then garbanzo beans. They're going to go in with water and everything. You guys will start to notice a common theme. We use garbanzo and cinnamon for a lot of things. You You guys, I do want to make a Japanese sponge roll. So we'll see about doing that too at some point, because I do want to make some cake. But today, I don't know. We'll see about what to make for dessert today. Okay, so this is what it looks like so far. You've got the garbanzo, daikon, onions, and salt and pepper and cinnamon. B squared, hello. Hi, thank you so much. You are so kind. It is so good to see you. Yes. Yes. You know what? It is. Like you can't cook Algerian food without cinnamon. That's just where it's at. All right. So this needs to come to a little bit of a boil here, okay? And for the veggies that are going in right now, once this comes to a boil, it's going to be the daikon and the carrots. Zucchini and potatoes go in last. Let's see. Get rid of this while that comes to a boil. Let me see if we have time. We can make one of these. Wait. You guys, do we want to make kunafa or do we want to make, because you guys, we've been going through it, okay? We've been going through it with the quickness. So do we want to make kunafa or baklava? Really, Devon? That's awesome. What do we think, y'all? Do we want baklava or kunafa? I do need to make the Turkish Delight, but I think I'll do those as a short so that you guys can save it, because I've had a couple of people want that. Went to Korean barbecue. Yum. Happy birthday. What are you, Aquarius? Yeah, you're an Aquarius. Right? Yeah, you're an Aquarius. Okay. Just grabbing some water for the mixture. Pisces? Wait, what's today? Pisces? Oh, today's the 22nd. Yo, okay. It's the 22nd today, right? Vote for death? Let me see. Let me go ahead and look. Time. Today we are making couscous B squared. Authentic couscous with chicken. The 22nd. Hi, Wyoma. You know what? We already started. We're making couscous. Authentic couscous. It's good to see you. What do you mean, Chronicles? Mr. Chronicles, what are you voting for death for? So what do we think, y'all? Do we think, I don't know about late, like we've already got the couscous steaming and the sauce coming to a boil. Kunafa? Okay. We can do that. Let me see if I have a defrosted one out here. Yeah, we'll go with the kunafa. We can do that. Just gonna give this a quick little defrost. This is the phyllo for spanakopita or baklava or whatever it is you want to use it for. It dies. What died? The dessert is dying? No, do we want rolls? Do you need a roll for something? And then this is pataifi, which is just the shredded phyllo dough for the kunafa. Well, hello there, Brad. Hi. Welcome in. Yeah, I did, but you said you vote for death. Hi, pets. Hello. You said you vote for death. So you don't want? What? Let me look through this. Oh, that's so cool. Pisces, doing nails, getting that Korean food, eating too much daikon. It's never too much daikon. Okay, I'm just checking y'all here. Yeah, so I did make baklava on here before. I don't know if we did it. Did we do it live? That was a long time ago, wasn't it? We vote for death. You're voting for. See, never death to pastries. Are you kidding? I live for pastries. Dessert. Okay, kunafa, is that how? Yeah, okay. We're voting. Yeah, we had a whole vote situation, Wyoma. Okay. What if I don't vote and complain and make it about myself? You know what? We're kind of used to that around here. We might give you a hard time for doing it, but you can try. A lot of garlic. You know what? That's good for the cholesterol. Do what you need to do. It's good for you. It's coming to a boil, you guys. It's coming to a boil. Do you see that? Okay. And let me show you the couscous where we're at, because right before we go in here, so we've got our veggies. They're right here. So daikon, carrot, potato, zucchini. Okay. So you're going to take all of your daikon pieces. They're kind of big, right? How am I supposed to vote in these difficult times? You know what? Are you too afraid to vote, Wayuma? Such difficult times. The struggle is real. Gosh, what are we going to do about it? We got the daikon in there. Go in with your carrots, y'all, okay? The pieces of carrots just as they are. Okay? And then what we have left over is the zucchini and the potatoes. Those go in last. Never been. You know what's good for you? That's okay. I mean, raw garlic is pretty spicy, girl. Like, is it? Oh, it's got that kick. But it's good for you. Yeah, Turkish delights are so good. Yeah, I'm doing that one as a short because my adorable Lilith, I know, wants to keep the recipes and I want y'all to keep it too. So I need to make it with like super close instructions just because there's like a process to making it and I don't want anybody to like miss any steps. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to Texas next week. I'm busy. Oh, what are you going to do out there, girl? Are you busy? I thought you would be too afraid to go to Texas, you know, with lifing. Don't get me started, Wyoma. My family eat Thai chilies, jalapenos, and serranos. You know what? Divine, my entire family eats all kinds of spicy food. Like crazy spicy. I personally, I don't have anything against spicy food, but it hurts me. Do you, Tammy? Let us know if you feel like a change in the atmosphere, in the balance, in the calm next week. Okay, just report. girl. We need to know if it feels like the sky is falling. Heaven forbid, God forbid. Okay? Let me go ahead and throw these in. I'm getting a little sassy, y'all. Okay? Like, let me collect myself. Okay. All right. So, you get your bowl. If you smell something, it might be like a little sewage, a little sour, a little musty. Let us know what's up. I hope they don't have to like shut down the airport or anything. Girl. Okay, so you're going to take this one that's already been steamed, throw it in. I swear to God, some people give you heartburn. Wallahi, they give you heartburn. Okay, let's see. Let's see if we need to go a little bit. Let us enjoy the day. Let us live in harmony. All right, that one's all right. So we're right here at this step, okay? We just pulled this out. Take a little fork so you don't burn your beautiful little hands and separate this, okay? The next step here is you're gonna take a cup of cold water, add a little salt to it, and you're gonna pour it right over this super hot couscous. And you're gonna let it soak up that water. And then you do your final steam before serving. And it'll be nice and hot and delicious. Okay? Look at it, fluffy and separated already, right? If you were to boil this, or what do they tell you? Boil the water, throw it in, add a little oil or whatever. It still gets clumpy. You gotta like pull it apart. It's all like a dough. The IRL is not nice. Look over here. No. You know what? At least we have places we can go to for some harmony, right? Right. I don't know, Rally, have you seen the new stuff? I know that Nikki has posted it. Scar posted it. It's enough to make your blood pressure go up. Oh, Divine, thank you, by the way. And you have to, you know what? Don't ever be afraid to wear your really nice stuff. Don't be afraid to wear your nice, earrings, glasses, clothes. It's just like, you have to enjoy them. You know what I mean? I feel the same way about like China. Like, take out the nice china every now and then and just serve on it. Of course, like I know it's hard when it doesn't, like you don't want things to break or whatever, but serve yourself. Wear the nice perfume. Don't save the nice perfume for nice occasions. You know what I mean? Wyoma, I felt, I don't know how to explain it. I did put like a whole response about it in the Discord, and then I deleted it because I was like, almost like this person doesn't deserve that level of attention or to know something personal kind of thing. I don't know if you know what I'm saying. And I was just like, you know what? I just hope that she gets what she deserves. Like some people, I just hope they get what they deserve. And I know a lot of people say things like they don't believe in karma and stuff like that. And I've always said, like, people who believe in karma don't believe in magical thinking. People who believe in karma believe in consequences. So basically, when you think of consequences, people who are constantly doing this excuse my French. I tried to censor myself. People who are constantly doing things like that will eventually mess up somewhere or piss off the wrong person. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, and I feel like if you're very comfortable in what you're doing and how you're behaving, if somebody says something like, have the day you deserve, or, you'll get what you deserve. If you know damn well that you are good with everything, that should not ever scare you. Like you should be very comfortable having the day you deserve. It's just like, I know I deserve a good day. Like, does anybody deserve anything? I don't know. It's like, I'm okay with whatever day I'm gonna have, because whatever day I'm gonna have, I'm not feeling like it's a punishment. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's just consequence. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I don't know enough about that one to say a whole lot about her, but no. Tammy, it's the person that is usually covered in. Oh, hold on a minute. Tammy. Yes, you said, aren't you serious? Not aren't you exhausted? That's where I saw you. Okay. I was like, okay, wait, your name was familiar. Yeah. Okay. No, so yeah, you might not know who we're talking about. I don't think AYS covers her. I saw AY and my mind went to aren't you exhausted? Yeah, aren't you serious? Okay, that's where I saw you from. That's why you don't know who we're talking about. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I love Aren't You Serious? She's wonderful. Or Are You Serious? All right, so we're right here. Let me add some cold water and salt to this. But yeah, so after this morning, like, yeah, after we saw what we saw, like, I was just done. Like, I felt very angry about it this morning, unfortunately. But yeah, I'm all right now about it. Like, it's just not, some people are just not worth it. Anyway, so I'm adding about 1.5 cups here, depending on how much you've made. What you're gonna do is put a little salt in there, make sure it's cold enough water. It's not hot. Pour this right over. Make sure you get all that salt in. This is the only salt you're gonna be putting on this. And then just mix it all in. And you're just gonna let it sit until it's almost time to eat it and serve up, okay? Okay, there it is. Did I miss something? Hi, Lily, hello. Welcome in. My goodness, I've missed you. I can't be mean on my husband's account. It doesn't feel authentic. Aw, Chris. Well, he did wish death to pastries. I'd say that was pretty mean. Yeah, Divine. It's just, I can't even. Like, I don't even know what to think. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday, Lily. It's good to see you, Chris. Yeah, I don't know. I think, like, right, she's supposed to be, I don't know, told on herself, leaving next week or whatever. It just doesn't make sense. Like, there were a lot of things that I saw in that short. Sean, hello, hi. Oh my God, where have you been? You've been gone for a minute. It's good to see you. Oh, okay. Yeah, so there were like a lot of like telltale signs of like that this was very performative and stuff, and that made it even more agitating and harder to stomach, especially with the like, I just don't know, like I might go to the produce shop. Like, I've really been thinking about it. It's just like, what are you doing? Like, why are you acting like this? Like, you're pretending like chewing on things and being like, I've really, been thinking about, like, look, I don't know what she's looking at, first of all. Going to the produce shop. Girl, we have seen you at the produce shop like 5,000 times. Thank you, Lily. Thank you. She's doing that for, yeah, I know, and that's the thing. So, like, I feel like what we saw today was this whole, like, this, her trying to basically tell us she's training herself to go on this trip. And in order for her to do that, she has to pretend like she's having this meltdown about going to the produce shop. And it's just like, it was so performative. Like, I was nauseous watching it, and then I started to get really angry because it doesn't fit anything. It doesn't go anywhere. Like, it's, I felt really mad. And I just remember I just put my phone down and I was just like, I'm going to go in the shower and I'm going to chill because I'm really angry right now. Yeah, Lily. It was, this latest one was ridiculous. This latest performance was absolutely ridiculous. It's like, you don't have to do all of that. You can literally just say, I'm going, period. We don't need to know. You can say, I haven't left the house because I haven't felt like leaving the house. I don't have anything to do outdoors. I can't walk if I go out there. I don't want to use my walker. You don't have to pretend like you have 5 million disorders and dysfunctions and situations to justify not going out. Yeah, you know what? That is true. That is true. I don't know. It's just very aggravating to hear and to see that the manipulation, especially to see the performative portion of it, of her pretending like she like people say like, you know, the low BMI voice and her pretending to be like in her like hat, like, oh, look at that. That's a look. I forgot that this was up so high. She was like, I'm just so. No. I mean, it sounds like it, right? It's performative enough to be. Yeah, she does. Like, I can't get over it. Like, this is so ridiculous to me. And you know what? We did talk about this before. There is an actual issue that needs to be discussed at some point in the actual thing that she's doing. I know I can't say it I can't say it freely on here because I don't want anybody, like the wrong person to hear it. Especially like, I don't think this isn't age restricted. It says it's not for kids, but it's not age restricted and we're cooking. But I do want to do something about, like making something on the side to give people information about this topic and how to protect themselves and to protect other people around them. Because there is an issue in this whole next week trip. It has nothing to do with her. It's more of like the message that she's putting out and what we can do to help protect people and protect each other. Because like we talked about this in the Discord, and yeah, a lot of people are seeing like an issue. Because I know that you guys don't know this, but I look into trafficking situations, right? And I would like to do like a PSA type thing about what to look for, what to do, what you should look for with your children to help protect them, their friends. And I was trying to make it clear that a lot of people, they don't realize that the trafficking doesn't only happen for that one reason that we all know about. There are different reasons. There are so many different reasons why it can happen and what the motive behind it is. Yeah, I want to. It's just like I need to make sure that I do it properly, like on the platform, to make sure that nothing goes wrong with it. Hello, Jennifer. Hi, welcome in. Yeah, it's something that we need to talk about, especially when you see some of the things that we're seeing right now. Like, obviously, a lot of us have known that these things have been happening for a long time, even without the recent release of certain situations and the information that we've gotten. A lot of us know what happens, what's been happening for a very long time. But now at least it's kind of like in people's heads. So we might be able to talk to people to protect them. Like we might be able to get more attention on it this way. And obviously what she is doing is the opposite of that. It's actually putting a lot of vulnerable people at risk if they take her message to mean anything. I've seen a lot of people like, and I don't know if they're trolling or not, but there are a lot of people that say, oh, you're an inspiration to me, you know? Yeah, like a lot of people say that, and I'm just like, you know, if you think back to like when you were, I don't know, 13, 14, right? And let's say that you were like awkward and were having a difficult time like getting the boyfriend or the girlfriend or whatever. And then you see someone who's very similar to you who is claiming to be all excited and happy about, you know, getting attention from a potential love interest or whatever. You might take, as a younger person, you might take their advice if you see any part of yourself in them. And so it's like, I don't know how far they can go. Like, children will do some really ridiculous things, and it's not their fault. They just don't know any different. So I don't know just how far somebody in a like weird, awkward position might go to take, you know, to try to get out of that awkward situation and maybe make similar decisions that she has made. I know, Wyoming. It's like you can't. You also can't claim to have all these anxieties, and then you're getting on an airplane. Like everything on here, for example, if you were to just be looking at this from like one of your friends, right? Every single thing that has happened in this situation that we've been looking at together has been a major red flag, and it should have you rethinking everything. Or if you just cannot get over yourself and you have to meet this person, you have to do it a different way. Because everything that has happened, from what we know, is a huge red flag. The whole going to locate this person claims to not really be online, yet they went to look for specific kinds of content and found this information. What were you looking for that you specifically found this person and this information? And then you went and found this person's information and contacted them, got an answer back, and you have then redirected the conversation into a different platform or into a different, like sometimes they'll tell you to go into Discord, they'll tell you to go into WhatsApp. Then there's another one. It has like an old school phone kind of name. What is it called? Y'all probably know what I'm talking about. So they'll redirect you. Thank you, Jennifer. You're so sweet. Thank you. They'll redirect you, and usually that's when you'll know that they're moving you to like an encrypted type of platform, and that's a huge red flag, you know. And so it's just like, okay, like, and she doesn't understand like VPNs. She doesn't understand Telegram. Thank you, Pads. Thank you. Yes, Telegram. So there, and also Discord has had so many issues with a lot of missing persons, a lot of endangering people, a lot of, you know, there's been a lot of issues, and it's very difficult to get information through Discord, even with a warrant. Like, they will fight you to the end. So it went from that into the Discord, and then another red flag is literally spending countless hours speaking to this person. So when you see that, you start to think, is this a job? Like, are you being paid to do this? And I'm not saying her, is this person being paid to do this? Because you are investing a lot of time. And then to also agree to spend over $1,200 for 2 seats. And because even for him, he's agreed to have this person who he knows. Did I go away for a minute? Hello? Are you guys good now? Can you hear me? I thought maybe they got mad at me. Yeah, so what I was saying is, even to consider that this person has agreed to all of this is also another red flag, because you're like, who are you? Why are you okay with this? And why in such a short period of time? You know, and for anybody going anywhere, especially women, um, do not agree to fly from your home and go into somebody else's house. Somebody like where someone has control of absolutely everything. That's not normal behavior. Am I still buffering? Okay, so it's working now? Okay. I don't know why it's doing that. Yeah, that's not normal behavior. That's very scary. Um, and like I said, so the only other thing was, it's like when you see all of these red flags, the only other option that you should go for, oh, thank you, Sean. Okay. The only other option you should go for is making this person, if they really care about you, making this person come to you. And when they come to you, they don't come to your house. Like, you don't give them your home information. You meet them in public, like in a public space at a coffee shop. Let me see, just in case I missed something. Yeah, that it's crazy. And then the whole, a person studying you, there's absolutely nothing normal about that. That is an attempt to manipulate. That is also, like, if you guys have noticed, she's been acting more like a bimbo, right? And that's her allowing somebody to think that they can control her. And also, I think that she makes this person feel smart. She makes this person feel, above her in a way, because now she's like, doing this whole writing papers and talking about how she has learning disabilities and how she didn't go to college and didn't finish, whatever. But then comparing herself to this person and saying he's so much better than her. Yeah, for sure, Rally. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, this is insane because I don't know like how many cases people follow in here, but I know that there are a significant amount of people that follow cases. And there was a case where this was very similar, but not exactly like her situation, but I'm pretty sure we can find one like hers. But in one specific situation, there was like this young woman in her 20s that was she thought that she was going to be moving to Thailand, to Bangkok, to get this job. And it was supposed to be, hey, Nikki, hi, welcome in. We're doing good. So she thought she was getting this job in Thailand, where she was going to be like DJ and do some modeling, right? And she was from Germany. And so she ended up, and she's traveled all over the world. And so they bought her ticket and everything. She got hired. Her family knew about it. They had all of this company's information. And I'm saying that because she says the same thing. Oh, they have my family has his information. Like, do you not understand that all information can be fabricated? Locations can be fabricated. All of that can be fabricated. And so obviously she was very comfortable thinking that she knew exactly where she was going, the location where she was going to stay. And, her family had all these phone numbers. So this girl gets on the airplane. She's supposed to be arriving where she's supposed to be going. She called her parents when she was at the airport, yada, yada. Everything was fine. And then right when she was supposed to get to Thailand, to the location where she was supposed to be, they lose all contact. Regardless of how many times they tried to call her, they tried to call the company, they tried to call the hiring manager, they tried to call everybody. Nobody answered. And so at first, for like the first 3 days, they just assumed, okay, maybe she's like super busy. Maybe she's unpacking. Maybe she's doing God knows what. And so they just sat there and waited and waited and waited. What they didn't realize, so then they started investigating. So when she got to the airport, there was supposed to be a connecting flight to take her to Bangkok or something like that. I can't remember where she stopped, but she was supposed to take a connecting flight. So somebody had called her from the airport. They gave her her information, her itinerary and everything. And they told her to get on this airplane. That airplane that she went onto did not go to the location that she thought she was going to. They had already had her on an airplane that was going to a location where she was going to be sold as merchandise. This girl thought the entire time, this young woman thought the entire time that this plane was taking her where it was supposed to be taking her. It wasn't. Even the people communicating with her, all in cahoots. This was all completely fabricated and planned. So whenever they went to go and look for her information, tried to find this manager, tried to find this modeling company, this music company, none of it existed. Everything was fabricated. And so you can't be going around making people think that things like this can't happen. That it's normal for somebody to just be like, yeah, like, because it sounds like this dude's young. Well, no, not sounds. We know, right? That this young dude is going to, in the economy that we're in, is going to pay over $1,200 for some stranger he just met online. And being like, yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, come through. Like, that's weird. Because, okay, so let's say that maybe he is into her all like that and he's going to be paying for all of these things. That might not be the case for everybody. Like, you can't make people think that this is okay, especially like young women. Because for people who commit these kinds of crimes, $1,200 is nothing. Because do you know how much they would get for someone? For a young girl. Exactly. Like this too good to be true. It likely is. This is not normal behavior. It's like when they are younger, obviously they get more money for them. But God, it feels so gross talking about it like this. But there is another aspect of this. So when you think, some people might be like, well, why would something like that happen to her? Like, she doesn't even fit the profile of people who get trafficked. There are different reasons why people do. And you have to look into what happens on the dark web for specific people like her. What could happen to another super morbidly obese woman who might be desperate for that kind of attention and who lets some young buck take her to another state and take her home. Like, it's really bad. Because it's not only the human part that's being trafficked, there's different parts that are being trafficked with certain people. And I can't go into detail, obviously, because we're on YouTube. But there are like a lot of things that can happen. So what she's doing is very dumb. We literally have young kids going missing every single day, and young women. And that's the thing. Some people, they'll look at the news and they'll see like a mother, right? 3 kids, whatever, in her 40s went missing. And then you'll see somebody say, maybe she was trafficked. And people are like, nope, she doesn't fit that build. Do you know what kind of people get trafficked? Thank you so much, Lily, for adding that in. But basically what I'm saying is, we can't allow her, like, the message that she is putting out there is very dangerous. It's very, very dangerous. What she is doing is dangerous. And I'm just hoping that there are some people that have like a little bit more sense than to ever do what she's doing. Because everything has been nothing but a red flag. All right, y'all, we're going to put these in. So for these, I am going to put these in whole. Well, like half, like how they are now, right? We just cut them. Because, so you're going to want to cook and boil. So you want this to boil until your meat is cooked, depending on what kind of meat you're using. You know what, Wyoma? She did say that her mother isn't thrilled about it. And as you know, like if you've seen some of the things that people have said, like when they try to give her advice on like, hey, like this is scary, or they try to ask her questions about something that just kind of is not fitting with what we consider to be normal, she gets very offended. And she starts being rude. So who knows what she could have said to her mom. Hi, Mish, hello. Where's Mel's? I didn't see Mel's. I was just about to ask Mish about Mel's. Where is it? I thought I clicked something. Mel's. I sound like a bird. Is Mel's in here? Or did I not read that right? Not to be dramatic, but my mom would probably disown me. I went to visit a strange man. Are you kidding? Why you like, if this was my sister, God forbid, right? If it was my sister, you best believe I would riot. I would make it a living hell. Yeah, I don't think Mel's is in here. Yeah, okay. How are you, Mish? I hope Mel's is doing good, too. Yeah, I would make it very difficult. I don't know, man. Like, I would really make it a nightmare. I would do everything in my power, or I would find everything there is to find about this individual, or show up at said location before she ever does, and without them knowing, because I want to know. Like, because this is not normal behavior. Exactly, Lily. But she won't. She won't do any of that. Like, literally, her mother is the reason why she found out that there was a mugshot. And even then, she didn't care. Yeah, that's crazy. That's just wild behavior. And like, even, so, okay, you know how some people, okay, I'll tell you guys a little tip, okay? For people who don't follow a lot of cases or like forensic stuff. So there's a reason. So some people will be like, oh yeah, like I can't show you around my house because I don't want to dox myself. There's another reason people don't do, some people are like, hey, give me a house tour or whatever. Never give a house tour, regardless of how cool your house is. Okay. Regardless of how cool your house is, never do that, because there are a lot of instances where you don't know who's watching and how long they've been watching. And giving a house tour is basically showing them a blueprint of your house. So a lot of the times whenever there is a forced entry, or when they have to determine whether it was forced entry or someone just let themselves in, whenever somebody just lets themselves in, it's a lot harder to find a suspect. Okay. And so they have to first determine how on earth this person was able to get in. And the thing is, you don't know exactly what they could have seen. They could have literally seen something on your door that they figured out how to open. They could also, whenever they say, well, the suspect knew exactly where to go. Okay. They went right up the stairs and they turned the corner. They knew exactly where to go. And sometimes that's not a recorded thing. Sometimes that happens live. And so it ends up being missed during an investigation. And so, or it could have been maybe 3 people in the chat and then somebody rewatched it. You don't know. Yeah, Sean, that's perfect. So when somebody asks you for something like a tour of your place, always say no, especially if you are a person online. Never show them what your house looks like. Never walk them through your house. Pictures of my cat. Yeah, exactly. And also, there are a lot of people who post pictures of their animals. You have to make sure that the ID is not showing. If you post a picture in your kitchen, from your kitchen, you have to make sure that your schedules are not showing, teammates are not showing, your children's school, you're not wearing a shirt from your children's school. But specifically, when it comes to information like, you know, how somebody goes through your house. Also, you know that if your house is on or was ever on the market and there are still pictures of your house, you know that people obviously can search that and see what your house looks like on the inside. You always have the option to remove that information. To remove the interior of your house. Yeah, but that's the thing. Um, so let's say that if you have somebody who's trying to harm you in some way, God forbid, Nikki, sometimes seeing parts of your house, like I'm saying, like a walkthrough, because sometimes you might be able to see like a corner, or you can turn your camera and see whatever, like no big deal. Don't give somebody a walkthrough of your house. Something like, this is the kids' room, this is my room, this is the bathroom, I turn this way. Don't show them the doors, don't show them your locks, don't show them where your back door is. Like, even if you go out into your space in the backyard, don't show them where your entry points are. Those are all very important things. Exactly. And it's very easy for someone who is malicious in that way to figure out um, how to undo certain locks, how to undo certain windows. So they'll come prepared. Where, if it's just a random intruder, they're going to have to struggle with opening a window, or they're not going to expect you to have a certain kind of lock, a second lock. Yeah. Yeah. People like showing like all their business like that. So so it's like, we have to take all these precautions. And I remember, like, the reason why I even thought on that is like she literally got on video chat with some stranger, immediately, and was on there for hours. And because it's like, even from that first interaction, there's a lot of things that you can clock. Which is like, he sees whether or not she's mobile enough to defend herself. He can hear if somebody comes to the door. He can see how many times her brother checks in, how many times she gets phone calls. Like, all of that is him creating a profile on this person, right? To be like, well, people don't ask about her very often, or her mom usually calls between this time and this time. It's like, there's so many ways to gather so much information about someone. So it's like, you're not benefiting yourself by spending literally 24/7 speaking to this dude. Like, something is wrong with you. Yeah. Um, oh, and we started talking about this because of manipulation. Yes, somebody studying you is not normal. Because, and there's a reason why we don't share certain things with certain people until we trust them. Because basically, you do get to a point where you share something very vulnerable with someone who you care about, and cares about you, because you know that that's not something they're going to use against you, nor is it going to be used to manipulate a situation. You know what I mean? She, on the other hand, had a hostage in her car, and she told her all of these crazy traumas in the car. They just met. And then, same with this one. Yeah. I get that. And it's just like, there are certain things, like, you guys have seen my little guy, but I don't show my oldest, because I tell him, because he's recognizable. People would be able to recognize him. Like, from school, I mean, right? But there are also ways, like, because I do also think about basically whatever I do outside, I'm allowed to, because, I had to train my brain on how to live stream properly and keep everyone safe. And it was just like, things that are allowed outside. Basically, like, I'm not going to show up in an outfit online that I wouldn't wear out. I'm not going to behave in a way on here that I don't behave out, like, outside, type of thing. So it's like, I don't bring strangers into my house, but I do take my kids outside. So every now and then, if one of the kids like runs over or whatever, it's fine, because I know that they're not interacting with the camera where people are going to get to know them. But I do try to keep them off the camera as much as possible, except for a little one. He likes to cook with me sometimes. But nobody's going to have enough personal information to ever say anything to my kid or find my kid. I also Of course, nobody wishes harm on anybody, and this is crazy. I also find it like super concerning because you also don't know somebody's temperament, right? I can't imagine going to a strange man's house, not knowing his temperament, and if something doesn't go his way, like how is he going to react? Like, where are you going to go? And you know what? Something that never made sense to me while we were watching this is she never really said that she got a return ticket. Does anybody know if she did? Because that is crazy. Because she's claiming 2 weeks, but she never claimed to have a return ticket. Exactly, B squared. Yeah. No, I protect, like, you better believe, you better believe I protect my children. Um, and like I said, like, I don't share private things like that where people can find them or anything. I basically use the rule of like outdoors, what can happen. Because it's like, when we're in here, I'm bringing you guys into my house, right? And so I just treat it as if we are out in public. Same, like I said, like what I'm wearing is what I would wear in public. Like I'm not going to wear what I wear at my house on a live. 2 weeks, nothing about a return ticket. Yeah, because in the beginning she didn't mention it. Yeah. But you know what, pets, so with the Apple tags, it's better to put it somewhere on your person, on yourself. Because one of the first things that they do is toss your luggage, anything that is not attached to you. And Ozzy, the thought of going to... Yeah, exactly. And Divine, that's the thing about Discord. I just remembered this again, is like I said, Discord has had a lot of issues with in a lot of cases. The Delphi and the Maddie Soto case were both had connections to Discord and things that were happening in the background. But anyway, um, with Discord, what she doesn't seem to understand is he could literally be recording everything. Everything. He could also be live streaming every single time that they go on video chat. Because I'm like, because she's acting like a lab rat. She is acting like she is a case study. For all we know, she could be. Because for somebody to automatically go into let me fix you is weird. It's weird energy. Yeah. For all we know, like how don't you know that it's weird that he, because it doesn't sound like he gave her his real information, because if he did, why aren't you just video chatting from your phone? Yeah, I don't either. I mean, she kind of was hinting at it, wasn't she? Okay, so I'm gonna let this cook on super low. Let me move these things out of the way. So the way that I usually do this, after this is cooked, and it's time to eat or whatever, that's when about like 15-20 minutes before I serve up, that's when I re-steam the, what is it? The couscous. Can we go back to as much? You mean her first one? Yeah, it's crazy. Has she run a search on it? Effie, it does not sound like she has done a damn thing. All we know is that her mom did and found. Yeah, that was the old one, Pets, not the new one. And I don't know if y'all noticed, but dude like stopped going into her lives when when the most recent ones. That's weird. You guys, you can also cook all of this in an Instapot, but you do have to do it the same way. Just like cook your meat and everything in the Instapot. Yeah, she said that. She said her mom does not want her to. What did she say? My mom's not thrilled about this. Well, gee, I wonder why. He's awkward. Yeah. I mean, regardless of, let's say, you know, it's like the best trip ever and they fall in love and live happily ever after. It's dumb. It's absolutely dumb what she's doing. And how she is talking about this is not normal. I'm just going to move some of this stuff so we can start on the kunafa. I'm going to turn on the stove. And you guys, since, you know, we don't break fast until 5:45, I will serve this up and just have to post a picture of it since we've made this together. But, you know, because I can't serve it up right now anyway. But we're going to make the kunafa really quick. Let me just move some of this stuff out of the way. But yeah, I think that like we do need to talk more about the dangers associated with this situation, just in case anybody is watching her that could end up hurt, God forbid. Because obviously she doesn't care about herself. I mean, regardless of if anybody says anything to her about this, she's rude about it. Like, how dare you even question what I'm doing? Like, she still acts like a defiant, like, teenager when it comes to, you know, these boys and these guys or relationships. She doesn't seem to get it, regardless of what anybody says to her. I'm just going to move this so then I can grab everything for the kunafa because the food is done. We can also do some tea. Texas, that's not so bad. Oh, repurposing pasta I made. Ooh, yum. Which part is not so bad? You mean like how far away she's from Texas, or are you talking about trafficking in Texas? And, you know, we call it trafficking, but it could be any kind of criminal activity. But I'm just not going to say anything because I'm not making allegations. I'm just saying like that this is potentially like it could be very bad. And if it's not bad for her, if he's a good dude, it would be bad for other people doing the same thing. Sean, it is when. Yeah. Yeah, she claims she has nothing. Like that if she was in a situation, she would literally have no way to get out, according to her. Unless she like gets on live on YouTube and somebody sends her money or something. I don't know. Do you remember like when she was going on whatever trip she was going on and she needed like $100 or something like that for, what was it, luggage? I can't even remember. And like her mom had to send her that money. Like, how are you going to go to some dude that you don't know and just like stay in his house? Or when she was with the other one, she didn't even have money to buy soap. Like, how do you put yourself in a situation like that? That's so stupid. Okay. So this is where we're going to make the kunafa. I think I want to make a half portion in a smaller pan today. Stream scroll, snooping. Are you, is she streaming today, Nikki? I'm just about done here, so I'm just going to make this fast and then it'll be, okay. So we've got this. Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to do is grab your shredded phyllo dough, okay? And you guys, I will also show you like sometime this week how to do a kind of like a cannoli style dessert with this. I just have to get the rings for it, okay? Get a bowl. So instead of using the cannoli dough, you're going to use these next time. I checked. She has a stream scheduled for 5. ¿Qué hora es? Oh, okay. It's 3. Oh, but that's 5 your time. And you're also 2 hours ahead of me. So 3. So in 15 minutes? All right. Hold on. Okay. So what you're going to want to do is separate this, y'all. Not exactly 5. I think at 5 something. Okay. So you're going to take your shredded phyllo, okay? If you want, in order for you to have nice shredded phyllo that is nice and crunchy, you want to do half mixture of oil, half mixture of butter, okay? So for this one, you need about, this is a pretty decent amount. So we can split it. I'll split it to make a half portion today, and then tomorrow we can make a something with cannoli, like a cannoli style. Okay? Look, I'm blonde. I'm just joking. Okay. Start with this amount. Because my husband and I eat it. The kids like it, but it's like they don't eat much of it, so. And y'all, this is all clean. Y'all saw me clean it. So, okay. So we're going to go with 1 cup, a half a cup butter, half a cup oil, okay? So what you do is you melt your butter and your oil. So half a cup is 1 stick. I'm just going to rush this really quick. What was that? Oh. Okay, 30 minutes is plenty of time. So let's go. Let's see if we can speed race this. Because we've been here a hot minute. Oh yeah, so that'll put me right at 2 hours, y'all. Okay. All right. So melt your butter. And then you're gonna add a half a cup of butter to it, or half a cup of oil to it. To this one, we're going to add granulated sugar. You can actually also use powdered sugar. The powdered sugar has cornstarch in it. It does help with the crunchiness. Okay. So this one is 1/8 of a cup. This one is about what? 2 tablespoons is 1/8. Give this a little toss. Needs a little more. You guys are just hanging with me while I do this with the quickness, okay? Whoa, my God. Okay. Half a cup canola, vegetable, whatever it is you have. Please don't use olive oil. Olive oil has its own distinct flavor, y'all. Half a cup, okay? Throw this on. This one's trying to pop. I could hear it. Okay. Depending on where we stand, we might add more. Okay, so you want to completely coat this, okay? And you are going to bake this at 400 degrees for me, 375, 350 for you. depending on your altitude, okay? I can add just a little bit more. Perfect. Because you don't want it drenched where you can see the oil or the butter at the bottom. Okay. Did she really? Oh, wow. Well, thank you. Thank you. I was like, I can get it done. Okay. Okay, so this is nice and soaked. Now we're going to make the cream filling, y'all. Okay? Let me show you. Like I said, y'all have seen all of this get cleaned. Let me move the vegetable bowl. So for this, we are going to add milk and cornstarch and sugar. If you want it creamier, you can use heavy cream. You can use half and half. I'm going to use a heavy cream. So you're going to need about a cup. Okay. You take the cornstarch. Tricking us to keep an eye on her. Oh, I love tea. You guys, I do have fresh mint because I want to make the tea for y'all so you guys can see what that's like. So you're going to take, let me just move this here. So I have the heavy cream right here. You're going to take about a tablespoon, and you guys remember that when you're making this, if you need more cornstarch, you can add more cornstarch. Just make sure that before you add your cornstarch in, you mix it. Hi, Mel's. Hi. It's good to see you. Oh, I didn't see you in here. Just make sure that you take your cornstarch and mix it with some cold water and then pour it in. Don't just, if it comes to a boil or it's super hot, please don't add the cornstarch in just like that, okay? And you always want to mix your cornstarch with cold water. If you remember, we saw a disastrous situation where somebody was adding cornstarch to very hot gravy. Disaster, okay? I've missed you, Mels. I feel like it's been a minute, girl. Okay, here we have it. That one is mixed. You're going to turn on the heat. Now we are going to use orange blossom. Let me grab it. Okay. So you will find orange blossom or rose water at the H Mart. You can also find it at the international market. You can also buy it on the internets. Okay. My hand is slippery. Oh. The oils. Delicious, okay? Smells so good. You're going to need about a quarter cup, y'all. I know that there are some people who really don't like orange blossom. Not orange, more so the rose water. A lot of people don't like it. Orange blossom if you don't like rose. Delicious. So you want the consistency of this. You want the consistency of this to be almost like a custard from like a cream puff, okay? I'll show y'all. All right, and then we need sugar. You need about a half a cup of sugar. Also, like I said, depending on how much you make, how much you're making. I have the quarter cup, so I'm going to use 2 of these. One. And 2. All right. So we're just going to let this mix until it thickens. What is it? And I'll show you guys right when it thickens, okay? Just have to keep an eye on it because you know how it is with that milk. It'll overflow in just, you know, in no time. So we're going to put this, we're going to start packing this really quick. Let's see, what do I want to put it in? All right, so I'm going to use a round plate, a round, whatever this thing is. What is this? A pan. My brain left. Okay, so you're going to take your shredded phyllo dough, the one that has sugar on it, and it also has the oil and butter mixture. You're going to pack it, so you can crush this, okay? You could put this in a food processor and crush it, or you can leave it like this. Okay, you don't have to crush it. Make sure that you cover the bottom. Holy, wow, that's loud. Make sure you cover the bottom. If you have like a small container, you can press it down with it. Okay? Make sure that you have a nice supportive bottom layer. Of course, you can use a bigger pan to make this even more flat. If you want to make this orange, you can, obviously. But you don't have to, it's just an aesthetic. Okay. So you see it is packed here? You do? Oh, okay. Are you talking about the kunafa? Personally prefer, let me see. Did I? Breakfast? I need a break from homework. Oh my God, I bet. Did I miss something? Pets, I must have missed what you were saying. Oh, okay. It's good. It's good stuff. Okay. All right. So this is nice and packed. Just like this, okay? Now, I'm watching our mixture here. It should start thickening. Like I said, it should turn into like a custard consistency. If it doesn't, go ahead and add more of your cornstarch to it. Usually it'll start to thicken right when it gets to that simmer, right? When it gets hot enough to simmer. The way I'm saying simmer, I'm like, what? And then we do have to make a simple syrup. It's a 1-to-1 ratio, obviously. I think we've already talked about that, yeah. So just make sure that, because you do have to add the orange blossom or the rose water to it, just make sure that you take into account how much of the rose water or the orange blossom you're adding in when you're measuring your water. So leave so if you're using a whole cup or whatever, so 1-to-1 ratio, so use, 1 cup sugar, 3/4 of a cup water, and then a 1/4 cup of the orange blossom. And a squeeze of a lemon, just in case we don't get to make that right now. Okay. So this is still very liquidy. I'm going to add some more cornstarch, and I'll show you exactly how we want to add our cornstarch. I'm going to add cornstarch and add cold water to it. You can also use milk or cream or whatever you have. And then you can just add it in slowly. So because this will get thick very fast if you add too much. So you have to just slowly pour it in. Sometimes you'll see people, they're boiling and they're just slowly pouring in the slurry. That is a good way to do it. Just that way you can gauge how much you need. So when you mix your starch with a cold liquid, it turns, of course, it turns very liquidy and you can pour it, pourable. Okay, so I'll show you guys. So this is what it looks like right now, right? I'm going to add it in. So I added a few spoons. Make sure that you are cooking it on medium-high. Okay, now it's thickening. You can always add about a tablespoon of butter to your cream. It'll just kind of help make it smoother and softer. I'm just consistently mixing it here to just ensure that it doesn't burn. Okay, now it's thickening. We're just about done. What time is it? 5 minutes. Perfect. Perfect. You want it to be a custard, okay? Nice and creamy. And usually I do make the syrup while it's baking. Okay? This is what you want. Looks like a pudding. So we're going to take this and pour it right in here. Okay? And then you take your mozzarella cheese. Also, if you want, you can add some pistachios right here in the middle of this if you want to. Or you can just do it just on top, okay? So you take this. Oh, I almost forgot the cheese. Yes, okay. Sorry, you guys. That took me a minute. Okay, so now you take your mozzarella cheese. You want a very, like, low flavor. You don't want a lot of flavor in your cheese, okay? So, just right here, you take your cheese, put it right in here. If you want it to be nice and cheesy, obviously, the amount that you want, okay? And then you're going to take the second portion, use up whatever oil and butter, anything else left in here, okay? Put this on, spread it out nicely. Okay, and then smooth it out. Give it a nice little press down. All right. There's a little piece of cheese decided to sneak out. I didn't want it there because I don't want it to burn on the side and look hideous. It's Taco Sunday. All right. So this is what it looks like. You're going to just flatten it. You can also use a little parchment paper and just press it down with the parchment paper. It's exactly 3 o'clock. This is going into the oven at 400 degrees for me, 375 for you, depending on your altitude, depending on your oven. Just watch it. Make sure it's nice, beautifully golden. Make sure that it is cooking for at least 30 minutes because you want it to get nice and crunchy. And yeah, so once this is done, I will post it because, yeah, I think that's what we said we do. I will make the simple syrup. Like I said, 1-to-1 ratio, 1 cup sugar, 3/4 of a cup water, a 1/4 cup of orange blossom, and yeah, and a squeeze of lemon juice. You can, of course, always add a peel of lemon because it makes it super fragrant. So there you have it, you guys. You do want to garnish this with pistachios when it's done. You guys, it is a good idea to pour your syrup right over this when it's super hot because it'll soak it right in. It'll be delicious. But yeah, so I'll post everything when it's done. We made the couscous together. The couscous is done. I just have to steam it before dinner time for just one last steam, just like I showed y'all. It's already sucked up all the water and the salt. I'll just have to get it going. And thank you, B-Squared. I appreciate you. And then I'll show you guys this, and I will make the tea. I'll make y'all the tea in a short so that you guys can have that at home. It's delicious, okay? All right, I'm gonna put this in the oven right now. But I love you guys. Thank you for hanging with me. It's been real. Sorry, I got a little sassy, but I promise it won't happen all the time. Just got a little riled up. You see her. I'll be streaming in an hour, and I hope you guys join me. I want to talk about safety, of course. Lily, honey, did you post Nikki's link? I don't know if you have. If you haven't, I would most definitely appreciate it. You guys, please go ahead and go to Nikki. Okay. Well, I'll see you guys later. Thank you. I love you. Stay safe. All right.